There's God right there. What a simple phrase, spoken not by Father Justin, not by Deacon Larry, not by me, but by my 4-year-old niece, Nora. Good morning, fellow parishioners. As Father Justin said, my name is Bo Grove. For those who do not know me, my mom, Kathy, and my sisters, Jessica and Crystal, have been members of the St. Leo Parish since we moved to Ridgeway in 1989. We always sit in the same front pew where my sister Crystal is sitting this morning, but most mornings is at 10 a.m. Mass. You may have seen me and my family at Mass or outside in the community, and usually it's with one of my 5 nieces and nephews. My youngest niece, Nora, is the one who proclaimed, "There's God right there." Well, do you know what she saw when she said this? We were coming into the parking lot one Sunday morning, and Nora saw Father Justin outside the church greeting people as they came in. She pointed to him and told my mom, "Gigi, there's God right there." And we all smiled and laughed and explained, "Nora, that's not God, that's just Father Justin." Father Justin was obviously flattered by the compliment when I had told him, and rightfully so. Thinking back on that morning, perhaps Nora was right and we were wrong. Isn't it funny how the simple truth in the words of a child can change your perspective? No, I'm not saying that Father Justin, as much as he'd like to be, is God himself on earth, but rather, maybe we, like Nora, need to see God a little more in each other and in ourselves. Maybe we need to see God more in the people we encounter each day at work, within our families, and those members of our church. Maybe we need to see more of God in the church itself and the ministries carried out by our parish. More importantly, maybe we need to seek God more from others, from our church, and from ourselves. In a day and age where we are constantly bombarded with terrible news and tragedy, a world filled with hate, oppression, and violence, it's easy to feel discouraged and wonder, what is this world coming to? Instead of focusing on the negative aspects of society, why don't we focus on the good, the just, the positive, and the compassionate? It all starts right here, in these pews, in the 4 corners of this church. Over 3 years ago, I was at a precipice in my life. I had a good job, a great family, and seemingly a happy and fulfilled life. But there was something missing. I felt incomplete and I wasn't sure why. I felt like life was just a constant of getting through each day, getting through each work week, and finally the weekend, and then repeating the cycle. It felt like I was simply going through the motions of life. I attended church regularly at that time, but still something seemed to be missing. I spent most Sunday Masses thinking about what I was going to do the rest of the day, what I needed at the grocery store, and complaining in my head about why Father was making Mass so long by singing every verse to all the Psalms. Then one weekend, I attended a wedding at another local church and had a very negative experience. That experience was so bad that for the first time in my adult life, I chose not to attend church the next morning. At that moment, I truly felt lost. The church and faith that had been a constant in my life started to wane, and I contemplated whether or not St. Leo's was the best place for me to cultivate my faith. I thought maybe I shouldn't teach religious ed anymore, and maybe I should not be a lector. This was very distressing to me, and I felt inner turmoil about what to do. I reached out to my lifelong friend and fellow parishioner, Margie Gausman. I grew up in the same neighborhood as Margie, we graduated the same year, and I work as one of her instructors for our religious ed program. I asked her if she knew anyone I could talk to about how I felt. She told me she would think about it and get back to me. Less than 24 hours later, I got a text from Margie telling me that Father Justin wanted to talk to me as soon as possible. At that time, Father had only been our pastor for a few short months, and we barely knew each other. I was surprised and slightly embarrassed that he would want to talk to me. Well, thank God, literally that he did. That moment, that conversation, that simple act of kindness and reaching out to someone in need changed everything for me. Father talked with me for a while about my life, his life, God, and faith. He showed me that I was a child of God and that God loved me for the man I was. That day, I saw God. I saw God in Father Justin. I saw God in Margie Gausman. I saw God in St. Leo's Church. And that day, I found God within myself. That was the first time that I felt real faith. It felt life-sustaining. I have never had a more satisfying feeling of joy and relief in my life. Knowing, believing, and trusting in God's plan helps phase out all the day-to-day problems we encounter, because all roads, no matter how bumpy, lead to heaven. From that day forward, my faith and life have changed. I've become more involved in our church, not because I felt obligated to, but because I wanted to. I thrive for more faith in my life. I couldn't wait till after service shared the Word of God with my family and friends. I couldn't wait to teach my 7th grade religious ed students and help them to learn the love and faith that I have. No paycheck, no gift, no prize can give you that awesome feeling of being filled with God's love. Without our church, without Father Justin, I would not have this faith. I realize that in the last few years and months, there's a ton of negativity surrounding our faith in church, and honestly, some of it is justified. But that does not mean that we should give up or give in. It's up to each of us to right the ship and keep St. Leo's on course. The God that is in all of us needs to come out. We don't just need to only give more monetary donations to our parish, but also need to give more of ourselves, give more of our time and talents, and share the unique gifts that God has given to each of us. In the short term, that will help our church, our school, and everyone who is here today. But the bigger and more paramount accomplishment will be for there to be a thriving St. Leo's for our children, our grandchildren, and their grandchildren, and so on. I want children like my niece Nora to have the opportunity to see God each week at St. Leo's in Ridgeway forever. So I'll end with these final questions. Do you believe in God? I mean, do you really believe? Do you believe in what we say each Sunday during the Apostles' Creed? Don't be ashamed to be answering no in your head, or honestly not being sure of your answer. That was me 3 years ago. If you were like I was, don't be ashamed, or angry, or sad. Instead, be resolved to find God. Thirst for his presence in your life. In the book of Revelation, Jesus says, "Behold, I make all things new. I'm the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I will give a gift from the spring of life-giving water." God can be found here at St. Leo's. He can be found at the grocery store. He can be found in our homes. He can be found in our families. He can be found in our friends. He even can be found in our enemies. You simply have to seek him, and he can make you new. Thank you for being here today and being part of our parish. It's my sincere hope that each of you will find my witness as a source of strength and encouragement. May God bless each of you. Thank you.